So we know, again, brain research shows that that frontal lobe does not fully develop by the age of 25 until the age of 25. But you think about all the things that kids do before that age. They drive at 16, 15 in some states. That's 10 years before their frontal lobe is. They can vote at 18, which that's fine with me. I'd rather have them vote. But they can also go to war at 18. And then that's 7 years before their frontal lobe is developed. And then they're going to come back and have PTSD. Duh. Right? They can drink at 21. So they learn to drive first and then they learn to drink.
And then you're shooting a gun.
Yeah, and then you're shooting a gun. Yeah, I never even brought in gun in ownership, right? When we think about all the things we expose our kids to, we're exposing them to a lot of grown-up stuff at a very young age. And I do feel like I'm very much against book bans, things like that, not because I don't think there are certain books that shouldn't be in schools, but I think that parents need to take a bigger role in making that decision. So instead of putting it on the school to say, take off these books I don't like, the parent should be talking to their kid and saying, here's why I don't want you to read this book, right? Have these real conversations with your kids about your beliefs. Why do you feel this way? Why do we do these things? But I think a lot of these book bannings and stuff have become almost, it's partly control, but it's also laziness. It's parents don't want to have to talk to their kids about hard stuff, so they'd rather they didn't ever get exposed to it rather than, okay, yeah, Tommy brings home this book that you're kind of like, oh, where'd you get this from? You just talk to them and say, I understand why you got this book, but I just don't think it's the right book for you, and here's why. But we don't want to have those conversations, and we don't want to be, we want to be their friends. We want to be the good parents, but sometimes, you got to be the strict parent. But we have to take responsibility for our own kids, for their actions, for what they believe, how they act. We can't keep passing accountability to my kid would never do this. You'll never hear me say that about my kid.